Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's 24th day of February, and as well it is the final day of the Fryslân Open 2024. So, as you know probably from the yesterday's stream, some games of the Grandmasters and Masters tournament have been played yesterday late evening, and I did not have the possibility because of today's event I organized to sit and comment the games till the end. So some questions are still asked and they are not having answers, but those answers will be created just in few seconds, minutes, and it's not over yet, so still a lot of emotional moments will come. Why? You will know that as well. My name is Damian Reszka and I'm your host, and I have the privilege of bringing this variant of drafts, which is Frisian drafts, closer to you and me as well, because last 3 days, and this is the day number 4, were just exciting ones about knowing how to play, about knowing what is the history, what are the conditions to play this beautiful sport born in Friesland in Netherlands. And in front of us there is one interesting barrage that will be played, and details about that I will announce you just soon. Meanwhile, as always, on the bar below me you can find information about this tournament, about variants of drafts, Frisian drafts of course. You can find a page of the World Frisian Draughts Federation, or I think that I can call it that way. And of course feel invited to the webpage frisiandrafts.com, where you will find all the important informations about this variant of drafts, about calendar, education, history, ratings, etc, etc. Because it's valuable knowledge that you can get from this page. So feel invited. I've already spent there quite a lot of time educating me about Frisian drafts, and it's worth to play because this is the most tactical probably game ever to be found. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is, because wrong window still is opened, because I just wanted to make it Chrome 2 perhaps. Okay, perhaps Chrome 1. This is about analytics of the video, so now I switch to the right one, that's right. And on the leadrafts.org you can already find a notification about me streaming, and this is direct link to the Twitch account checkersTV, because we are live on 2 different platforms. On Twitch, this is checkersTV, and on YouTube, this is checkersTV channel, English channel, so feel invited here. We already have Bartek here, who says that he supposes that somewhere he saw the guy that is running this stream, who is me of course. Yeah, that is because of today's tournament that I organized in Warsaw, capital of Poland. That was the Grand Prix tournament, and there were nearly 130 players playing, so big event with nearly 50 new players from Polish schools from the Mazovian Voivodeship. So it was quite an experience, it was quite a big one, quite an exhausting one after all, but I still have some strengths to share the knowledge about Frisian drafts with you. Of course, this knowledge is basic one, but I have the support of scan engine, so analyzing the games could be a bit easier. Ladies and gentlemen, so as you know, yesterday this Grandmasters and Masters tournament started, and today the second and the third round was played. So now I can show you standings of this competition. So this is Grandmaster Fryslân Open 2024, and finally Mr. Faka Timensma gathered 3 out of 3 possible points in this tournament, beating all his opponents, who were Jele Virsma, Teke Koistra and Martin Wallinga. So this is in the end, the table, the final standings: Yellow on the second place, Taker on the third, and Martin on the fourth place. Those games we'll see tonight, those games we'll analyze, of course, with the computer assistance. But one still not solved thing is in the Masters tournament, and there 4 players were playing from the place from 5th to 8th of Fryslân Open 2024, and finally 2 players, Fede Kramer and Polish representative Łukasz Kosobucki. That's why it's really nice for me as the Polish player, as the Polish person from the Polish Draughts community. I really hoped that Łukasz can be surprising player to beat some theoretically stronger opponents, and it happened actually. And I was just, and I am still, having a conversation with Łukasz. So at 8 PM, at the hour that this stream has started, the barrages were about to be played, but this game has been postponed 30 minutes, so they will start, as far as I know from Łukasz, at 8:30. It means in 24 minutes, and it will be a great occasion to follow live what the players think, how players choose their moves, how the tactics can work during the game, because we will have just real-time analysis, and it won't be a long game just like the ones before, because they were playing then 90 minutes plus 30 seconds during this Grandmasters and Masters tournament, and probably now they will be playing having about 40 minutes plus something, so it will be like rapids, like previous games from the Fryslân Open 2024. Łukasz says that they will have 45 minutes plus some seconds, some increment per move. But we'll see. I hope that Łukasz will let me know what finally the tempo of the game is. And his opponent, Fede Kramer, is co-owner, co-founder perhaps of leaddrafts.org, the thing that we have read before. So it is something nice that following and using the lead drafts will have the possibility of using the software to follow the game of one of the co-founders, and probably this is Fede Kramer here on the small photograph. Feel free to join this conversation, feel free to join me. Hello Martina on YouTube, nice to see you. Staku8B, hey, so another player from today's tournament on the Twitch. So each comments from as well Twitch and YouTube can be displayed on the screen, so feel free to comment, feel free to join me, feel free to join this nice evening with Frisian Draughts. So we are waiting for this barrage. It will be published here probably. Of course the game is not started yet as it has been postponed, so we can follow the games from the Grandmasters and Masters tournament, and this is the game that we followed yesterday, at least we started. Let me make the board a bit bigger, perhaps this size will be okay for everyone, and I will not cover everything. So we were following the games yesterday live, and we were about around 30th move of the game. So that was the time when Łukasz did have really difficult position, and we were expecting that probably it will be difficult for him to get even a point, but finally Łukasz did win this game, and I haven't seen it yet how, but I just want to see it, and I hope that you want to join me. By the way, today on the checkersTV YouTube channel and on checkersTV TikTok channel I published a short video about this variant of drafts, showing one of the combinations that could have happened yesterday, or the day before? No, yesterday, in the 7th morning round, I guess. So, this move, the best one, according to the computer, was played by Henk Hanstra. That was the game that Łukasz had troubles, and that was inaccuracy or blunder, even what Scan says. This blunder cost white pieces about 2 pieces of advantage, so from the winning one perhaps it's going to the equal one. So this move was suggested to play, but after that this move can be played, and there is a sacrifice and there is another sacrifice, so it is about making an exchange 2 for 2. And now computer shows, of course, a small advantage of white pieces, who can take this piece standing on 22 by this attack, but after move 6-11 and sending the last defender of the left wing to the center part of the board, probably it is possible for dark pieces to make a breakthrough and draw this game. Perhaps that was a plan. I'm just expecting, I'm not so curious about that. Finally, but after this 43-38, Łukasz made the same plan, but this time it was an exchange 3 for 3, and the position was immediately equalized. So the reason was that Łukasz finally withdraw some piece from his long wing, the left one, and this is more balanced now, because that position 5 against 5 pieces looks for the computer as a draw. But Łukasz is making another blunder now, 6-11 despite 7-11, that was the right move to play. I don't know yet what the reason for this move is, but probably those are 2 central pieces not standing on the edge, and as we know, edge pieces are quite safer than the central ones. Another blunder, and another blunder from the white side. So, you know, in international drafts, generally, when you are coming to the end game with less and less pieces, it is easier then to calculate all the options and find good solutions. It's more difficult when you have complicated position with many pieces. But that time, in that type of drafts, it's absolutely opposite. It works differently. Blender, yes, blender, to blend your opponent like in the mixer, that's right. So that was equalizer as well, and despite that, possibly this move could have been played, but you can see, before that scans shows 5+8, and after this move that is suggested by computer, it shows 0.4, so I'm stopping believing it, and I don't know if it's worth to follow that options, and you can see how the indication of the computer was jumping from one side to another. Now again 7+5, 7+3, 11+9, and again a mistake. But here, after the good move, okay, the advantage is going down. So I don't know what to think about it. So equalizer, there is an exchange, 4 against 4 pieces, okay. And finally, somehow Łukasz did win it, but how did it happen? So now the job was to cover this gap on 23 because of this threat that white pieces made. For example, after such thing, the standard combination 1 for 2 that is known from other types of drafts could be played, and that time Hank would be on the king as the first one, and would not have any problems with catching opponent's king in that case. So that was necessary to cover that gap, and the chase to the king has started from both sides, and that was a mistake of Hank Hanstra. Okay, so I will just switch off the computer assistance and I will just try to find it by myself somehow. I know already that this move is to be played, and of course it's a simple one. It's a simple one because after that one there is just a single capture from the king, and you can't capture using your piece when you have the possibility of jumping with a king. So the priority in that case is for the king, and simply after this move Łukasz probably played to 50 and white pieces take, and Łukasz takes 1, 2, 3, 4. All opponent's pieces. And exactly that happened in this capture that I've showed. So that way, this is quite a simple one, and of course in this position was that possible to play here? Yes, still a draw, still a draw. So what has happened that in that game Henkanstra played that and lost because of quite simple solution. How did it happen? I don't know. Meanwhile, this time this was just a simple draw. Another option was to make a sacrifice no matter which direction Scan says, because after that you can go to the king. The king can be put here right now because another capturing possibility of 4 pieces. So in the end probably it would be just a draw. Łukasz would play here, for example. Waiting move. Still the king can be played? Oh, because there is an attack of that way. And this 3 against 2 endgame is a victory of white pieces actually. So yeah, quite disappointing perhaps for Henkanstra. But it happened, and Łukasz gathered 2 points in this Masters tournament, because he took 7th place in the general standing. Another game that we are going to take a look at is Jele Wiersma against Martin Wallinga, and once again we were about 30th move yesterday, something like that position. Okay, perhaps a bit earlier, something like that. And what has happened here? Okay, there was an advantage of white pieces of about 2 pieces, what you can see by the indication of scan. This is inaccuracy, or actually a mistake according to scan judgment, because there are those threats, I guess, and it's not easy to save from it, because for example such moves can come with that and this capture 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the problem in Frisian drafts. Then once this column works like in just regular international drafts, you have a problem with covering gaps. So what happens after such move? Just waiting, and there is this threat. This threat of, for example, after this one there is simple 1, and this standard, oh, in this case not only 2 to the king but 4 to the king. This is something that I didn't see yet as well. So that were problems, and finally covering this gap happened by this exchange by Martin Wallinga, but then that was a quite interesting move to play, 35-30. It's not the first time that we see such option here, and there is a combination perhaps. That was not the winner, so what was the combination to play here? Let me try to find it. We play here. And then what we can play? This is without any sense because it takes 4, and this one could be played that way. And what then? Okay, here. And now, oh, that way. 1, 2, 3 to take 1, 2, 3, 4. So once again the road that piece made to become king on 1, covering half of the board by 1 capture. Nice. But extremely difficult position, extremely difficult combination once again. Something that we've seen many times. But Jele Wiersma played here, didn't make this combination. And once again, similar possibility could have been played and was played, but in kind of different way. So how it happens now? There is one sacrifice, another sacrifice, so that is the reason why, probably the reason why Jele used this move, 35-30, to finally sacrifice it here and here. Then another sacrifice of 2. Take 4, takes 1. Okay, and there was a possibility of 2 different. Oh, nice. Of 2 different captures, and actually after each one, this move works. Because first option is to play here, and all the pieces would be covered. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is a combination, how it should look like. from that position to immediate winning, like that. This is the power of Frisian drafts, actually. From that position to this one. Can you imagine it? Can you calculate and count it like it should be? Oh, it's challenging, definitely. But that was not the capture that was chosen by Martin. He took that way, and after this one... Oh, actually, the same thing has been played. So all the pieces were collected with this combination. And the same would be after that one? Yes! Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nice, nice. So Jela has made a combination that was taking all his opponent's pieces. So how many started and how many finished on this variation? So after this move, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 pieces. After this move, finally 11 pieces were taken by Jele Wiersma. So the question is if that was the combination of the tournament. Perhaps that was the best combination of the tournament. Feke Timensma take Koistra. The game finded the result finally. We were there about at this moment, and what has happened here? That exchange and that exchange 2-4-2 was the losing one, so there were no combinations at this moment, but a simple breakthrough. Something we barely can see, because most of the time we see the tactical ends in the games, and here black pieces surrendered because of another one going to the king. This one will be attacked and captured, and just to remind you, in Frisian drafts it is enough to have 2 kings against 1 to have a victory position. And that game was won by Hein de Vries as well. So at the moment of 30th move yesterday, I asked you what are the chances that all of the games will end in a draw. And I thought that those chances are not high enough. And finally, none of them ended in a draw. Finally, all of that games were just finding the victory result for one of the players. So let's take a look at the position that we stopped analyzing yesterday. Something like that. So here it is equal. And this is a blunder, minus 5.7. That exchange, so still it is 5 against 5 position. It was something suggested by the scan, but the problem is that even after that exchange you must know that that is the way of winning position, which is not so clear to me. Perhaps to you it is, but not to me. Here, 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 sacrifice. The reason probably was that piece 27 was holding those 2 pieces, and the plan for dark pieces was quite equal, to play quite easy, to play here and play this exchange. And now simply you can exchange and just go to the king. And you can see that the possible road for white pieces is much longer, and that was probably the result why this game was winning for dark pieces, and Hein de Vries has won the game. Let's take a look if barrages are prepared already, because once you are on the leaddrafts.org main site, you can just see that barrages start in 5 minutes. Okay, if we have those 5 minutes, before I will start to analyze other rounds, because this barrage of Łukasz and Fede Kramer will start, and there is just one thing to notice, because Fede Kramer and Łukasz Kosobucki, they will be playing against each other for the 3rd time in this tournament. because they played against each other in the main Fryslân Open 2024. Then they played against each other in this Masters tournament, and those 2 times Fede Kramer won. He has defeated Łukasz. So the question is if that will be 3 in a row. He knows how to play against Łukasz, he knows how to defeat him, and probably it will be 3rd victory in a row. And Łukasz said to me that probably it will happen that way, but I know that Łukasz will fight, and I want to see that fight live. But if we are having right now the tournament in Frisian Draughts, and we have daily Frisian arena, of course we have their experienced players, the ones that have 1986, 1695, 2061, 2217, 2242 rating, and they are playing against each other because they are good on this variant of drafts. And you can see my rating right now, 1074, 1074, so it's nothing to be proud of, but I just enjoy. I started to enjoy playing this variant of checkers, and probably I will organize some tournaments on my own, of course, online tournaments, perhaps live one as well. Play for achievements. So I faced this guy yesterday, and I was holding the position till the move number 20 or 22 or 18, something like that. So of course he plays of course Berserk, because he doesn't need such a lot of time against me. Stream Damian, yes. That's right, I am streaming, so you can follow the game and you can see how I'm trying to finally know something about this game. So this is something that we know. He played here and I played here, and he played this exchange. So this is exactly the same thing that we played yesterday. And this is the opening that he knows, definitely, but I know nothing about that. And perhaps, isn't that the moment with that combination? Not yet, perhaps. After some exchange it was played, but how? Can you remind me that? How it was? How it was? This is not possible because of that. Takes 1, 3, 4, 5. So that was definitely not the move I've played. But what did I play? I don't remember. It would be nice to use the same combination as yesterday. Did I make this exchange? Probably we played that. Oh. Yeah, something like that was played. And what then? Here, here. Okay, so that was not the move that I played yesterday. I just wanted to repeat the position and I forgot to play, to take in this direction. So 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes to the barrage, and we'll try to play another game in Frisian Draughts till that time. GG. Of course, it was not GG, but for you it was. It's like, you know, I know how beginning players are feeling starting to play against champions in, for example, international drafts. I know how do they feel, because now when I play against such players, it is like I don't know anything about this game. And it's so easy for me to lose, but I try to play. You have to lose a lot of games before you will learn how to play. Can I play something like that? But I have Central 28. Sometimes it can be played, sometimes it can't. I don't know how to do it in that position. Hołdzie. I'm still waiting for my first victory, probably. Can I play this one? I don't know how, I don't know what to play. Okay, so I don't want to weaken my right wing, as this is the most difficult to defend. But perhaps this exchange could be playable. I'll play that anyway. So there are possible combinations going there, but no others perhaps at this moment yet. Ooh. And after that one he can take that direction. Can I attack here? He would play here, and there was one for 2, and I can take that. And he can make this combination, taking 1 to 3. Oh, some chain I did see. Okay, so Łukasz writes me. They play the barrage 45 plus 15, and they didn't take the laptop or tablet, so on the smartphone they will put moves onto lead drafts. Okay. So we'll follow that game that should start soon. Do I have to be afraid of this? Now this is just a simple exchange, so I'll play this move. This one I have to be careful about, this one, but after that one I can take here. But Hołdzie, okay, I don't like my central position of course, but something must be played after all. I'll attack the dead way. Oh, so I've made an attack. Sacrificing 5 pieces. Okay, so it's still not my time. Do they play or not? 3 minutes again. Okay, they are not playing yet, so let me go back to the tournament. So the goal would be not to sacrifice 5 pieces for free at one move. Would be nice not to do that. But what can I do? Calm. Try to visualize eventual shot patterns. This is a key for mastering Frisian. Thank you very much for the advices. Of course, for me to try to at least somehow master Frisian, it would be a long way. Mago Negro is my opponent now, but thank you very much. Usually flank play is the best approach for less experienced players. Generally in Frisian you would like to hold flanks at the beginning. So this is a nice advice, and now my opponent goes somewhere else. Perhaps this is a beginner that has the rating in 1671. Perhaps you are the viewer following this transmission. So I'll just follow the knowledge of Kalnap and will try to go to the edges to take under control corners of the board. And right now, isn't it possible for me to play here and take 1 for 2? I have some... Oh, 1, 2, 3. I thought that I was making a combination 1 for 2 and I was making 1 for 3. That's nice. 36, 31 and keep first row intact. Thank you very intact, sorry. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for saying me that. Feke Campion. That's right. Feke is Campion in Frisian Draughts. Oh, I gave 2 pieces to my opponent now. So once again, just simple tactics, not for me. But it looks like my opponent doesn't see that. So it took a time to play the right move here. And will take a few seconds more. So I did have 2 pieces advantage, now I have 1 piece advantage. Still good. Oh, that way. Okay, I'm going to the edges. If he plays here, then I take, he takes 2. And I'll take to the edge. And I'm just uncovering his wing. What I should like, probably. Going to the edges. There are some options. Okay, so my opponent wants to exchange to the center, so I'm going to the corners. Because I know that's the right thing to do. Okay. It looks like he is not careful about combinations there. I think that could be the first game I'll take. But after you think that way, that is not ending well. Okay, my opponent now gave me 2 pieces for free. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Perhaps someone finally wants to give me a victory in Frisian Draughts. I didn't see this capture. Staku 11, 16, 21, 26. Oh, I rewound it. Okay. If Staku is commenting on Twitch, I sometimes can't follow it live, and at that time I didn't see it. You didn't see, but you do this. Play for achieve. I don't know if you are commenting right now to me or to some of your opponents. So there, this could be... This is not working. This is not working, perhaps. So I'll just try to keep it in the corners. I have 3 pieces more, so this is something that I just can't ruin. I can't ruin that. There is sacrifice of 2 pieces. I don't know if it is working. There is some option, but not working either, I guess. Okay, going to the corner. Guys, Damian not bad player, but I guess he plays with PFA in Fryslân Open variant. Thank you, I appreciate that. That will be a winning one for me. And I attack! There is a strong attack made by me. And how you would like to answer to this one? And here I take it. 1. He takes 1. And I take 1. So I gained another piece. Because my opponent doesn't know that it's not wise to play to the center. Ah, I am so good in Frisian Draughts. Come on. I want more of your pieces. Just give it to me. What will you play? And I keep all the base pieces there, as you can see. So if I play here, he goes here, I take 1, he takes 1, 2, and that's all, and I take... Okay, simplification is good for me, yeah? Because then if I simplify and I have 4 pieces more, then it's a good value. And now he attacks that, and it will be taken easily by me. But there is another possible attack. That could be a problem. So how can I defend from that? Can I make somehow some combination? Like going here, here is the option. Immediately here. Oh, no, it's not working. But actually maybe this double exchange will work. He takes here, then I take there. And there is a double exchange, after which I got a piece here on 28, he takes, I take, and if he attacks now, then I have this move that I didn't have before. Okay. Can I make this one? Because normally this piece was strong one. So this is not possible, this, and this. Okay, I'm closer and closer to victory. And can I make this exchange? I think I can. So now I'm starting to control the center. This is not possible. This not as well. So this is the only move now. This one gives me a king, my dear friends. And I have this attack. So ladies and gentlemen, probably this is the moment. Probably this is a day, probably this is a game, the first ever one that I will win! My first ever victory in Frisian Draughts! Cheers for me, thank you very much! Ha! Ha! Take a look at the analysis of this historical game. Thank you very much, my dear opponent Mago Negro, for playing this one against me. You gave me a lot of hope. So, I played that way. How many mistakes did I make? Okay. There were no mistakes because I just quickly gained 2 pieces, but okay. There was a mistake and that was a good move. Take a look. He takes, I take in a good direction, yeah. Okay, that is okay. He takes, I take. That was the best move in the position, come on. That was the best move. What could I play there? So this one, he takes and I take to 15, so that was good, yeah? Okay, didn't know that. Played here, still the same exchange was suggested. But still advantage is similar. Played the best move in the game, in this position, sorry. Okay. So it was not bad. I took this, it was good. I didn't lose on any combination. Okay, not the best one, but still not bad. That was the best move in the position again. Come on. I'm starting to understand something. And I just won it. Yep. I'm satisfied, ladies and gentlemen. After 3 days of learning this Frisian Draughts, I played some game and I finally won it. But now, let's try to follow the game of the good players. So, the plan for the next time, I believe as long as possibly it can be done by me, by us, it would be nice to try to follow this barrage between Fede Kramer, who has defeated Łukasz Kosobucki twice. It would be nice to analyze it live and try to see what are the options, why such or not other moves are considered good, and just try to understand it, what is going on the board. Of course, both players, Fede and Łukasz, knows much more than me, perhaps not more than you, so you can just tell me on the chat what are the options, what are the possibilities, and we can make this analyze together. It would be really nice to follow something. So, the first move played by Fede Kramer was 31-26. We know already that Scan says this is inaccuracy, and that exchange has been made, and the question is where they take. So this is worse than going to the center in this position, and let me try to understand why. So this exchange and this is played, so I guess that there is a gap in the center of the position of white pieces, and there is already this move 31-26 to the front made, and that exchange was something like passive one to be in minus in tempos, so holding you back, and probably this is the reason of advantage, if I could understand it. And also you are just exchanging your central ones, meanwhile there quite side pieces were exchanged, not the totally central ones. So perhaps for me it would be the way of understanding that, but I don't know if I am sure about that or not. So what Scan suggests is to take on 29. 8 spectators are online following the game. Henk Hanstra, who was the opponent of Łukasz yesterday, among them, and 3 anonymous. So there was an exchange to 29, and Scan suggested to play here, so this is just an attack. This is an attack of this piece, a single attack, and just a single defense would be made by white pieces according to Scan, and why not to take here now? Because this move can be played, and this is somehow a threat. So now it looks like not having this central 44 would be problematic for white pieces. But what is that reason? I don't know. Witam, Bartosz, ten gościu, co prowadzi streamy, lubi przyjeżdżać do Środy Śląskiej, zapraszam, może go spotkasz. Być może. Hello, the guy who runs the stream likes to come to Środa Śląska, to tournaments, come and perhaps you will meet him, but then he speaks only Polish. That's true. Then, yes, I do. So, why that could be problematic? There could be a good move, for example, and this sacrifice again to the center. So I believe this is just a longer plan, longer source of problems. Meanwhile, this could be played to the side, and it's still better for black, but only half a piece. Why to cover this one? And just to block it. Okay. So this is a longer variation to think about, but what Łukasz plays is 17-21. He exchanges that way, and after Fede took the piece, Scan says that the best way for Łukasz is to take 7-27. Okay. But before we'll see that, because now there is this possibility and then you can go to the edge. There is also this possibility and you can go that way. Okay, not only to the edge, but okay, not to 21, to even 16. And there is an exchange 1 for 2. Okay. And according to Scan, this variation is equal. Maybe. So there are quite options after what Łukasz has played. The question is which one he will choose. Just to remind you, they are playing 45 minutes plus 15 seconds. They are playing 45 minutes plus 15 seconds. Okay, so Łukasz takes it with the single capture, 20-21, and probably it was not the best move to play because it is about 0.3 of value for Scan. So Scan would take, like you can see, with the arrow. Meanwhile, this move was played, and now quite similar situation from the opposite side, for the Kramer. So Scan wants you to play to 24th to finally make your opponent capture to 34 to exchange to the side. And this is not a good option because it releases 35 and that allows you to take on 35 again. And that is indicated by scan as even better. So the better way to play is this one. To let opponent make a single exchange. Okay, so trying to understand that. Trying to understand that is like it is better not to have your opponent having 2 pieces, and it's better if he has 3 on the side. How to understand it? Is this position of 3 pieces worse than having 2 pieces on the side? So I'm curious about what the Kramer will choose in this position. Kalnap. Frisian drafts on 10 by 10 is highly dependent on the opening theory, and black has more freedom than white. From my own experience, Frisian I, there was a longer comment perhaps that I don't see. And this is the comment that I can display, but I don't know if it was longer or not. Maybe I have some signs limits, or you have and you are just sending another one. But I thank you so much for your great knowledge, that you share that knowledge with me, with us, the viewers that can watch the stream directly live, but also from the recording. It's something that is not so easily found in books, for example. So we are waiting for the response from Fede Kramer, and just as you know, I am just after the 10-hour tournament. I will have 3 minutes of break and will be back in a few seconds without switching off the view of this barrage. So I'll be back in commenting that in 2 or 3 minutes. I'm back and some moves of this game have been played. So these moves suggested by the scan engine was played by Fede and according to what scan says and what we analyzed before, the better move to take for dark pieces is that direction, and this is something that Łukasz chose. But it looks like he's not getting the good position from the opening of the game, and after this one, suggested move was to play this another exchange and perhaps to take that's right to the side. So the plan that Scan would like to play is just empty your central part of the board and to remove those checkers to the side. Just what was suggested by you experienced players on the chat here. Okay, and we have just complete comment from Kalnap. So, Frisian Draughts on 10 by 10 is highly dependent on the opening theory, and black has more freedom than white. From my own experience, Frisian... one more hint... Okay, that was just another comment, so this is displayed right now. One more hint on holding flanks. If you have higher number of vertical edge squares than opponents, you exercise better control than your opponent. So not the entire comment is displayed right now, this is what I think. So just to understand it, if you have higher number or on vertical edge, so for example if white pieces will play here, then on vertical line white pieces will have 3 pieces and black pieces will have 2 pieces, 5 and 15. So you exercise better control than your opponent. Okay, so this is interesting. This is interesting fact to play better Frisian Draughts. So once you have 3 pieces on the side, you have better control than your opponent. This is perhaps according to possible exchanges, of course, and flank attack, and also some combination possibilities, like after this move this idea comes to life, yeah? Sacrificing those 2 pieces somehow. So this is the reasoning maybe. So the fight for gaining majority on edge is one of the strategic themes in Frisian Draughts. Thank you very much. This is extremely interesting, Kalnap. And this is the new thing for me and perhaps for you, my dear viewers. But in this case, if Łukasz plays here and white pieces would play here, suggested moves, we have like symmetry. So dark pieces have 3 on the left flank, looking from the white side against 2 of white pieces, and the same thing on the right side, 3 against 2 on the sides. So there would be 1 central square here and 1 central piece here. But still there is better advantage for for white pieces, according to the indication of the engine. But this exchange was not played by Fede. He finally played this move directly, and now the advantage of Łukasz, the advantage of Fede is lower, from 0.8 even in the variation to 0.3. And now suggested move is to play here again. The question is why? There is an exchange, wow, to 22, so this is difficult for me to understand, because, oh, there is just the longer sequence of capturing. Okay, so this is how it works. But that way you can see, okay, it is getting back to the game to equalize the position for black pieces, but it would allow white pieces to take another corner under control, which is 26, and then 3 on both sides against 2 on both sides from the dark pieces. So this is something I don't understand now. But it's good to know that this strategic part looks like that. And after this possibility of Łukasz, each time there would be exchange that way. Okay, that way after taking from 16 there is a possibility of going from 18 to 16. Okay, so remove a central piece to the edge and it's considered good. So we are waiting for the answer of Łukasz Kossobutski. And just while we have some time in that game, analyzing that and knowing new things about that, we can follow the rounds number 2 and 3 and what has happened there. This is the round number 1, so we have fully analyzed that. I can close this tab, and here we do have round number 2. Let me make this board bigger again to this side, maybe this size, and how the game between Łukasz and Fede Kramer was played. This is interesting from our point of view because Fede Kramer has defeated Łukasz and they were playing opposite colors. So in that game Łukasz played white pieces and Fede Kramer played dark black pieces. So this exchange was made, and this is perhaps some scheme, some team that Fede Kramer likes, because in that game as well he has captured to the center, but playing white of course to 29. So he knows perhaps how to play this piece, and he makes those exchanges and collecting 27 square. Quite interesting one. So there was an advantage, and the best move to play was 34-30, and after attack to play here. Really? Okay, 2-4-2, that way. And just to have a slight advantage for white pieces. Okay, I got it. But Łukasz played here, and what did it bring? This one and this one was a mistake already. One. Oh, and attack. Sacrifice and attack. So this is definitely something that was prepared by Fede Kramer, because normally after this exchange, here and here, is there a combination? No, the same attack. And if you cover the gap, then you have this one for to that direction. And perhaps the left long wing would be too weak in this option, once there are 3 dark pieces and only 2 white on this vertical edge. Okay, but finally Łukasz did play here, their attack, and this exchange has been made that way. 1 piece of advantage for white pieces. And how did Fede Kramer use it? Okay, and now it's better for black. So, okay, because it was better for black all the time. And now 1.7, so perhaps Łukasz should not move 46 piece. Here, 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 just similar advantage. And it looked like white pieces are just losing the space to play in the central part of the board. And this is looking absolutely losing for Łukasz Kossobutski. And we know that that was the final result of that game. And there is a combination already. Okay, so Fede Kramer sacrificed 2, takes 3. So that was equal in pieces. 12 against 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Okay, he had 1 more piece already after that option, but that was not the best one to play. So Fede Kramer could play a better combination in this position. How? 15-20, sacrificing 2. Here another 2. To take 1, 2, 3, 4. This is equal now. 1 piece more for white pieces, and finally he would get to the king. Wow, really nice. It's nice that this move that was leading to the piece advantage, 1 piece advantage for Fede Kramer, was judged by Scan as a blunder. that 15-20 definitely should have been played. So the game continued, exchange, and that was absolutely losing because of this 1-4-2 combination. And Łukasz surrendered in 30th move of the game. Okay, so this is really interesting, and Fede Kramer kinda crushed Łukasz in that game. So it was solved quite quickly. Comparing to other games, Feke Timensma has defeated Martin Wallinga. Martin, who showed us really interesting combinations during this tournament. So this is like an opening that we know already. And one thing I don't understand about this short wing, because in this position it is okay for white, but in some positions where those 3 vertical pieces against 2 vertical ones on the side are not good, this position is okay to be played. Okay, so how did it go? Opening the position, 0-7 advantage, going to the edge 16, another exchange to the edge by white pieces, 0.6 advantage. I need to kinda understand such moves, but probably it's not opening any line for capturing vertically, and that's the reason to play 48. This exchange was suggested and played finally. Doesn't make any sense probably to attack this piece, as it can be covered or just blocked, 11-16, and then 1-6 perhaps can be played. Here 1.4 advantage, and slowly going further. So Feke just increased his advantage here, and 1-1-1, and one piece was sacrificed already. Was it necessary? What would happen after such moves? Just still playing without any options, immediate options at least. Okay, so just Martin decided to put his opponent's piece into the center. And how it was solved. Okay, just avoiding some combinations, perhaps at some moment of the game, is just so difficult, and that way Feke Timensma forced his opponent to play to the center with all the pieces, and he gave 2 pieces and another 2, and white surrendered. Why is that? It was captured, and 1, 2, 3, 4 for 1 and for 2. That should be played here, yeah? That's right. And this 5 against 3 pieces is just immediately winning. Okay, quite a nice interesting game with some motives that I can try at least to understand. And this game between Teike Koistra and Jelle Wiersma was decided in a draw. So let's check if gentlemen made some mistakes here, or just were playing the good game. So here to the corner, 44. So this is a scenario that I can try to follow and repeat in the games I will play. Take back and attack of the flank maybe. Okay, and in that case 28 was taken. Some similar position I did have in my one of the friendly games. Here. Okay, slight advantage of white pieces. This is unavoidable to have some slight advantages in the game, I guess. Takes to the side. Okay, so without any mistakes yet. Another exchange, simplifications going to the end game, another exchange. And another one on the side. Perhaps both players will finally get to the kings, but this is what Scan sees sometimes, because as I know from international drafts, Scan has a problem with judging the endgames. And many times in a draw endgame he suggests this is a winning position, and sometimes in a winning position he sees that it is a draw. So that's the problem in the end games, and perhaps here the depth is just not enough, the 21 moves that you can see right now, right here. And if I will try to make it deeper, perhaps after some time scan will show that the position is judged well. Okay, so 1 for 1 for 1 for 1, 4 against 4, and it is considered equal right now. That was the losing move. And it was played by Tekken. So 3 against 4 position, just to have a breakthrough, sacrifice, and you know, this is like a position to calculate here, exchange. 2 against 2, this is extremely interesting, that if you, at this moment of gameplay, not here, but here, you will get a victory. And what is the reason? Okay, I'll try to switch it off and analyze it by myself. Of course, this is not allowed and this is not allowed. So I think that playing here causes that problem that you sacrifice this piece, yeah, and you go here. No, it's not a draw. Definitely. So you can't give this piece. So how to play? 27-42. That was played in the game. Oh, because you make an attack that way. Of course, I forgot it. And here, you can't cut this piece off from making a breakthrough. There is a threat of capturing it, and if you go there, you can attack a king. And how to force a draw here? Attacking is not good. Is it winning or what? This is probably some theoretical endgame that I don't know how to choose. Because you would like, now 3 moves were made by the king, and would be nice for you if you somehow forced this piece to move. So I know already that, okay, like playing here, 1 move, here, 2nd move, here, 3rd move, someone like here. Okay, this is maybe too long one to analyze for me. I'll just cut off this line. So is it winning or drawing? I think that if this position was a draw, was a victory, scan would show higher advantage even. So somehow perhaps it's a draw. But what was the right move to play? This move, just not to let your opponent follow you to this capture to break through. And now, however dark pieces will try to make a breakthrough, they will attack this piece by themselves. And this one, okay, you want to push your opponent back, there is this attack, and you can make the same thing. And this is winning because here, and you go with the king to the corner, and anywhere the dark piece goes, it will be just captured on the next move. In this kind of endgame you should keep in mind particularly Frisian rules that a king may only move 3 times in a row, yeah, unless it is, and now the comment is stopped, but perhaps you say that unless there is a piece on your side, you have 3 moves and then you must move with the piece. So this is interesting one, and I would expect from the top players to know how to win this one, but this can be a really theoretical position or the one that can be put into books, because this 2 against 2 is about calculation, yeah? And those players who are good in Frisian drafts and probably they are perfectly calculating combinations, sometimes are missing something in endgames. Okay, and last game of this second round was Hein de Vries against Henk Hanstra, and they played a draw as well. So let's check out if there were possibilities of victory for any of them. This is theoretical opening that we have seen already a few times. Okay, this double exchange, another exchange, going slowly to the end game. I feel like I'm starting to understand more and more of this game, but now I need to practice a lot. 0.7, 0.8, 1.4, 5, 7, and now more equal. So I'm not judging the position of 3 pieces even of advantage by scan as the positions that will be finishing that way. This is equal now, and that was okay. That was probably the losing move from Hank Hanstra because of this one. But now after this one, advantage goes low. Goes down to equal position again, similar equal. 4 against 4, and was there still something? Okay, this is idea from international drafts, and finally one king against one king, it was a draw. So that way we've seen all the games from the round number 2. So in front of us there is a round number 3. But before that, let's check out how our barrage is being played. The game between, of course, Mr. Łukasz Kosobutski playing white pieces. Sorry, black pieces, and Mr. Fede Kramer playing white pieces in this position. So that was the last moment we were here, 30-25, and finally Łukasz decided to play 7-12. 44-39 symmetrical move was played, and Łukasz decided to go 21-27. So this move is considered okay, but the best move was showed to play 15-20. I don't know that, because, you know, sometimes some variations can be suggested by computer, but those are the computer lines, because it would expect the player to play perfect moves, perfectly calculated moves, and for human, to be honest, it's not possible. So Łukasz changed here, and we know already that going that direction is not good, because then there is a capture, and you go this side from 18 to 16. So this is a strategical way, okay. So that exchange was taken, and probably, of course, Łukasz will take to the edge and not to the center. So something like that. There is a slight advantage of white pieces, but to be honest, this is like equal, yeah? So comparing to other games that Łukasz lost against Fede Kramer, I think that Łukasz holds good at this moment. So it's not decided yet. Of course, Fede Kramer is absolutely the favorite one to win this game. And I asked Łukasz what they are playing for, because, okay, some of them will get the title of the winner of Masters Group, but probably there are no other benefits, but correct me if I am wrong. You can tell me that on the chat, because I don't know it. Probably both got the qualification to the World Championship Frisk and World Championship Frisian Draughts 2024 as well. Probably they will get the same prize, but if there are any other benefits, I do not know that. Adrian, z maszynką też tak potrafię, tylko problem z angielskim. Adrian says in Polish that he can do with the engine the same I do. The problem is with English. It's not a problem, come on. It's not a problem. By the way, everyone who is listening this stream, I really like one thing about YouTube, because once you are watching that on YouTube, you can turn on the auto captions, the automatically generated subtitles, and you can automatically generate it to translation of any language you want. So if you are watching it later, for example, you can turn on language as you want, and the translation from English that I'm using, at least I'm trying to use, can be made into any other language that you want. Okay, so Łukasz did take 12 to 21. So what is interesting thing to notice here? Players did have 45 minutes per this game. We don't see the time on their clocks because they are playing it with the real clock not connected online. But what is interesting about this game, okay, 2 quick moves were played, or just perhaps at this moment those moves were put onto Draughts. So what is interesting, they started this game around 8:30 and we are 6 minutes to 9:30. So there will be 1 hour of this game played already, and it means that players used approximately 30 minutes of their bank time. So the game will speed up, really. The game will speed up because they are not using the time in the good proportion. But I know that it's really easy to lose the game in the opening of the game. So the question is, who is spending more time on the game? And taking into account that fact that Łukasz has lost 2 games to Fede Kramer and is less experienced player than he is, I would suggest that Łukasz is or will soon have some time issues. And of course the very important thing about playing draft checkers when you play on time is to have a good time management. So we need to spend not whole time in the opening, which is easy in international drafts, but probably in Frisian drafts it's not so easy, especially if you don't know the theory of the game, of the openings. And that can cause some troubles, because in the middle game, in the later middle game, and in the end game, you will not have enough time to calculate all the variations that you should have calculated. So that's the problem. At this moment the advantage of Fede Kramer is 0.1, but we can see already that other moves were made quite smoothly. So they are speeding up, they are starting to make moves faster from this moment, as we know, none of the players get some solid advantage in the opening of this game, so they are just trying to save some time for the further part of the game, probably. Still, it gives us a time to follow the games from the 3rd round of Grandmasters and Masters tournament that has been played today. So let's follow the things. And Fede Kramer defeated Henk Hanstra because, okay, he lost one of the games, and he lost the first round of the Masters tournament. And this game against Henk Hanstra he has won, Fede Kramer. If there was a draw and Łukasz would win his game that he has done, then the tournament would be decided, because Łukasz would be on the 1st place then. So it started that way, and here we have the exchange that Fede Kramer played. So this is the same opening that Fede Kramer is playing against Łukasz today. And what you can do when you have the history of the games of your opponent, you can just prepare yourself. For example, Łukasz could watch this game, see that opening, and could just assume that the same opening will be played by Fede Kramer in their barrage game, if this is something that he has prepared, and Łukasz could find out that probably this move is good, but Łukasz, as we remember, exchanged it that way. But here Henk Hanstra did make this attack, defense, exchange to the side, and playing not 14 but 15, but this is similar perhaps, this move, and there we did have quite a big advantage from the opening for Henk Hanstra. So Fede Kramer was not the favorite one. Another exchange, 46-31, that we have seen already a few times, and the position that was played, and that is an equalizer. Meanwhile, the good move suggested by Scan was to play here. And what after such moves? Here, is there a combination or just preparation of combination? So here, that would be played 2 for 2 to the king, okay. Okay, so it looks like, oh, it's really interesting, because moving 46 to 26, even though you build 3 pieces on the side, gives you the possibility, gives your opponent the possibility to remove this 26, and in this case it would be played really nice using the majority that way. Really nice, yeah? Unavoidable, unavoidable. So that could be made by Henk Hanstra to make this threat. But he played this move, 11-16, and the position equalized. There was some exchange. Okay, this 1 for 1 only, yeah, to 18. But why that was suggested by computer? After all, you free one edge piece and go with it to the center. I don't understand that. So it's not like human move, yeah? This exchange has been played, 2 for 2. Okay, so probably the game was decided in the end game or closer to the end game. Similar exchange, okay, so both played similar plans, attacking the wing, the short wings of their opponents, and there could be a better position for the Kramer, but it looks like he didn't use it on time. This is equal, okay, exchange to the side, and this is losing 1. And why is so? So the suggested continuation was 6-11. Because you, that way, somehow hold your opponent from going to the king, because after this can be played, and that one comes with this way of losing piece, and there is attack of the wing, and somehow perhaps black pieces would go to the king by themselves, and this is the one way of capturing. The other one is here, and you take as well 2 pieces, but after this capture, this is still equal. But after that one, what has happened? This is not possible to play anymore, because after it, for example, this and this move, your opponent takes here, you take, and you take this piece and go to the king easily. So those 3 pieces are standing without the movement possibility, so everything was played well here by Fede Kramer, and probably till the end he just used it. Waiting, okay. And that was done because, okay, this capture is possible, this piece will gone, so it was finished. And what was the way how Łukasz Sobocki has defeated Hein de Vries in this position? Here it was equal. I'm just watching this position from the middle part after opening of the game, because if it was another line of theory, I just want to save some time to follow what is going on in the live barrage, and as we know, they are speeding up. Okay, 12 moves. So perhaps they are not going too fast yet, but they must do it in less than half an hour, I guess. So that was a mistake by Hein de Vries, and Łukasz could have played another capture. 2, 3. Is there a combination made by Łukasz to take 5? So it is 2, 4, 6, 8 against 2, 4, 6, 7, but the advantage is not so big. But really nice combination, by the way, played by Łukasz. Sacrificing 1, second one, third one, and fourth one. But you know, Łukasz used many of regular international drafts moves that Łukasz is really good at. So it was possible for him to calculate, and some positions, some combinations, some tactical chains are using unimaginable lines of capturing diagonally and vertically. So it looks like a winner, perhaps some misplayed move, and this 2 for 3 finished the game. Okay, quite a nice tactical way. Łukasz has made 2 combinations and won the game. So Jele Wiersma, that is the game that he lost to Feke Timmensma, and that was the reason why he was not considered to be champion of this tournament. And Feke Timmensma has won it, yeah, having 3 out of 3. But if Yellow Virsma would defeat Fekatimensma, then he would have 2 points and Yellow would have 2.5. And Yellow would be the winner and not the one who got the second place. So Yellow Virsma had something to achieve in that game. Okay, this sequence of capturing gives a slight advantage for dark pieces, and there is an exchange 2 for 2 and another one, so 3 for 3 to sum up. Okay, they just gained some space, another exchange to the side that way. This and attack, so this is probably the playable idea. Now the white pieces might have some troubles on the short right wing, but it's savable, I would say, and there this 15-20 could be better. So perhaps finding some of such continuations would be worth the title in this tournament, but still it was not enough, I guess. And 1822 was played, and the advantage of 3.4 pieces was indicated by scan, and here even 5.3. And I guess I've seen such structure already, so perhaps this is something you can experience and you can just try to repeat such structure against those edge pieces of your opponent. But how to use it? So it looks like it was a completely winning position for Yellow Virsma. So here, okay, I'm always forgetting that such moves are not working because of this capture. Here, so he played everything like he should. Still it was not possible, of course, because of that, but there would be a, okay, no. There would not be a possibility of 2 for 2 because of this capture. 9 for 3, 8, he sacrificed. Okay, so now black pieces, Yellow Virsma is playing without a piece, and this piece was given back. Okay, so I think that he just missed totally great chances of winning this tournament. 1 for 2, still absolutely winning for black. So what has happened here? What has happened here that white pieces won it? How did it happen? There is this attack following your opponent. That was an equalizer. So in that case, to win this endgame, you should attack this piece again. Of course, reminding that 2 kings against 1 king is a winning position. And still this piece has to go few squares to the king. So Yellow was playing that great. And the winner one now is this plan and probably going back to 1, right? Here, of course it is. And no matter where white would go with this piece, there is 1 for 2 combination, this and this. What you can see. So the necessity would be of giving this piece away, and you simply go to the second king and win the game. Or here even 2. That would be first. And quickly winning one. And after that, this king would be captured. So only few moves from winning this competition Yellow Virsma was. He played there, and that is still a winner. No, I'm just following the line that I've showed. So this one was an equalizer here, and that's a lost position. Oh! So he forgot maybe that after 3 moves of the king, he will be forced to play with the piece. Oh my god. Oh my god. So he has become the victim of this rule. That after 3 moves of the king, if you still have pieces, you must play with the piece. Oh my god. So probably still he thought that he had winning one. And after that, the only move to play is to sacrifice. The only move to play with the piece is to sacrifice the piece. Oh, that was just a poor thing to play. And finally the endgame 2 against 1. because it was not possible to cut the position of this piece, because of course playing here is giving a king for free, and that was the way how Feka Timensma has won the Grandmasters tournament. So Jele Wiersma probably was the one to deserve the title, but still he didn't take it. Okay, last game to follow, Martin Wallinga take Koistra. Meanwhile, we could have heard that many moves were played in the game of the barrages. So Łukasz Kosobucki is still trying to defeat Fede Kramer for the first time in this tournament, and Fede Kramer is trying to defeat Łukasz for the third time in this tournament. Okay, and so how the game was played. That is the position that we saw last time, here. Quite good moves perhaps, because the position is indicated equal. Here another exchange back, so those moves were played fast, and now Łukasz is exchanging, and probably this is the only move to take, and the right thing to do is go here, and Łukasz will take two pieces there. So there we will have, after 20 moves, the position of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 pieces against 11 pieces. And Kalnap gives us another hint. Square 45 for white, square 6 for black, are crucial for preventing breakthroughs in Frisian drafts. Okay, thank you very much. For example, in international drafts, if you want to prevent your opponent from making a breakthrough, those crucial squares to control is 50 for white on the short wing, and 47 for white in the long wing, and the same situation for black, 1 for the short wing and 4 for the long wing. This is something, you know, about knowing the theory of the game, about having coaches, about reading the books. It's really worth to hear it from more experienced players, because, you know, coming to everything, getting to everything by yourself, without books, just by playing games, will take you, even if you are a genius, will take you just years, and you can get the same knowledge in hours or in weeks if you are listening to someone more experienced, because the knowledge that drafts players have is something gathered through decades, and it's really worth to study it, because otherwise you could just spend life on it and perhaps you will not get by yourself to some right conclusions. Waiting for the last decisive moments, let's follow this game of Teke Koistra against Martin Wallinga, and that way we will have all the games of the competition analyzed by ourselves. I can see already that some players do have some favorite openings that they play often, and they just like it perhaps, or they just prepared it the best way. I can tell the same about other variation of drafts players, because in international drafts, in 64 square drafts, everywhere you can just learn your most favorite openings and try to play it, because it increases your chances to get more and more points in the game. Okay, that was played. There was a possibility of this exchange to 4-2 with this capture. So 48 is not so important in Frisian drafts, but it is important in international drafts. So kids even thought that 48 is not the one square to move, because it's a golden one. Okay, some wing attack from both sides. 0-7, 0-8 advantage for black pieces. But suddenly it goes to equalizer, and that was a losing one? You could sacrifice that and attack 15-12. So re-getting this piece will give the black pieces better wing attack, perhaps, but it was not played. This move 1-6 was played after the sacrifice, and if another attack would be played, then this move should be played, and this time attack again. And still it would be a draw, according to Scan. So, here Martin Wallinga was not waiting until his opponent will attack it and just sacrifice this piece. Probably wanting to attack this flank. In this position 5 against 5. How did it go? There is still some blender to be made. Okay, gave the pieces and went to the king, and that was a winner probably for Martin. But how? This move was played. Perhaps it was just a loss of move, loss of tempo that you could use to try to break through, perhaps with this sacrifice. So after black is going here, oh, there are some threats. So after this one you can't play here because there is simple catching possibility, and if you go here to 48 you have this move. Okay, because if you would play here, oh, you can't play here, of course. Okay, so this is important idea. Once your opponent uses the king to attack your piece, to make a sticky move, like in international drafts, to stick to your opponent's piece, you don't need the majority because there is a priority of capturing with the king. So this move just would be winning one, because 1-for-1 exchange, this one is going to the king, and probably you can bring this position to 2 kings against 1 king position. So that would be winning, because no other moves that you have. This one, for example, just gives your opponent the time, and after this attack there is always such possibility. So that could be winning for Martin, but it's really difficult to calculate it, that move, because it's like setting a trap that lasts for many moves, and it's not easy to find such solutions. And here 2 against 1, it's a draw. If that was a king, then it would be a victory for black pieces. Ladies and gentlemen, and that way we analyzed all the games of the second and the last moments of the first round of Grandmasters and Masters tournament, entire second round, entire third round, and finally that were the results. Just to remind you, on the turnybase.knDBA.nl you have the results of Grandmasters Fryslân Open DFS 2024, so the winner of the entire competition, Feka Timensma, winning 3 out of 3 Grandmaster games, and second place to Jelevirsma. He was the one to win it. If he perhaps didn't forget about the fact that you must, after 3 moves with a king, make a move with a piece if you still have pieces on the board. Perhaps he forgot that. Perhaps Feka Timensma just used it. Third place went to take a Koistra, and fourth place to Martin Wallinga. And about Masters tournament, there is still one thing not solved yet. So Hein de Vries, third place, Henk Hanstra, 4th place, and still the battle between Fede Kramer and Łukasz Kosobucki is on, as they are playing the barrages. So, this is not the game, I can close it. Going to the barrages. Here is the position after 25 moves. So gentlemen are playing nearly for 1 hour and 20 minutes, and they did have 45 minutes plus 15 seconds per move each. So it means that game is going to be played faster and faster, and we can expect some mistakes here. And Łukasz, honestly, is a good one to calculate, and I think he has some chances, despite the fact he has lost 2 times to Fede Kramer already in this tournament. So this exchange was played, of course, then quite fast moves, equal position, another exchange to the edge, and perhaps this position will be decided in the end game. So calculating it will be like if players are playing about 30 moves, because they are getting closer to that point, it means each of them will get 7.5 minutes, right? Because if you get 15 seconds on the move, 4 moves will give you 1 minute, 28 moves will give you 7 minutes, and 30 moves will give you 7.5 minutes. So they had 45 minutes, so it means if they start at 8:30, they are finishing the basic time on 10 p.m. and having 30 moves being played on each side, their time will end 15 minutes past 10. So I would expect this game to be finished in less than half an hour after this short math lesson. Short brain exercise from the other side, not the Draughts one. So here on the board we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 pieces playing against 10 pieces. And what I've said before, I expect Łukasz Kosobucki to have less time than his opponent, and I would expect that Łukasz will be playing faster right now. But you know, this is something that I'm just thinking, and there is no confirmation from my thoughts and words. But I would think that, once you will get to the position with less and less pieces, Łukasz is a really good one in calculations, and he showed already few nice ideas, few nice combinations, few nice games, and it's not said that Fede Kramer will win it. Can Łukasz Kosobucki be a winner of the Masters tournament? I think he can. Perhaps you can write on the chat what are your predictions about who will be the winner of this tournament, Łukasz or Fede? Łukasz or Fede? Czy słyszeliście kiedykolwiek o warce? Can I add survey on a poll, actually, yeah. Who will be Masters winner? Łukasz Kosobucki or Fede Kramer? Yeah, I can make it that way. So if you are on YouTube, then you can vote on the question who will be a Masters tournament winner, Łukasz Kosobucki or Fede Kramer. After 2 votes, it's 50-50. It's 50-50. 1 vote for Łukasz, one vote for Fede Kramer. I think the greater chances are on Fede Kramer's side, but still some things can happen. In drafts, like in every sport, everything can happen. So now Fede Kramer is making this exchange, so after this, and this capture will be played probably, and then we will have 28 moves played so far. I just want to see what time those Frisian daily arenas are played. So those arenas are played between... Oh, I was on 6th place after winning 1 game and losing 2. And it is played every day from 8 p.m. for 90 minutes. Okay, so till 9:30. Till 9:30. So it's worth perhaps to join it, but for that to be enjoyable, we need to bring more players. Because with all due respect, because Play for Achievements is commenting and gives us the tips, as well Hawaii Blue, but playing against you from our level is not enjoyable at all. But once we would bring more and more players to this tournament, then definitely it would be interesting, because no one gets the point in losing all the games, and everyone needs to win some time, at least. So perhaps that's the reason why you are so strong in this competition and not so many people are playing there. But once we would bring, for example, 100 players to it, then it would be satisfying for many of them to, you know, win many games, lose many games. Why not? Why not? Exchange has been played and Łukasz played quickly, 3-8. Łukasz played this move quickly. And what are the options now? That exchange, for example, if you would consider keeping on exchanging, is considered like loss of 0.4. Why? I don't know. This was suggested, but again, it's not a human move. 46-41. Witam, i kto wygrał, Kasia? No nie, Łukasz gra z Fedekramerem. No, Kasia is playing... you mean perhaps today's tournament, because of Bartek comment. Today Marta Bańkowska has won in Warsaw among women, but she played extremely nice, extremely good. So that move was not for human, and that one was the logical one to play, because, you know, this is the structure that you can't break in Frisian drafts, as far as I know. Of course, it's equal, but you can see that players are playing faster and faster, of course. The 30 moves have been played, so now they have on the clock less than 10 minutes each, if they are equal on time. There are chances that one of them, for example, has 1 minute and the other has like 20 minutes almost. We don't know that. So Łukasz is playing 24-29, and I think Łukasz is playing faster than Fede is. And that is 2, 4, 6, 8 against 8. So according to our experience from the previous rounds that we've analyzed, it was like having decisive moves in positions like 4 against 4, 5 against 5. Till that time, most of the players knew how to play. Now Łukasz, for example, left 3 out of 5 base squares, but those ones are still as well difficult to capture, because on vertical lines you cannot take it, and the only way to take it is also not the horizontal one, but the diagonal one. So it's easier to calculate, and perhaps if you are an experienced player in international drafts, 100 square drafts, then you know how to calculate those diagonal combinations, and that could be in favor of Łukasz, perhaps. So who will be a Masters tournament winner? Łukasz Kosobucki or Fede Kramer? This is the question that we want to answer in the next moves, in the next minutes, and the last minutes of this Fryslân Open tournament of 2024 edition. Normally I would end this stream at 10 p.m, but of course, despite the fact that this game is so close to be finished, will stream it to the very end, and we'll see who will be the winner of this competition. We know the winner of Grandmasters tournament, and the only question to have the answer is who will be the winner of Masters tournament. So now after this exchange, probably Fede Kramer is on the move. Of course, lead drafts shows that we are on this moment. Okay, there is a possibility that Łukasz Kosobucki is calculating capturing to 29. It's not like he is not having any other options. But let's analyze if that would be good or not. Of course not, because of this attack, and the piece would be lost immediately. So I assume that Łukasz sees it and perhaps takes that way immediately. There is a way of this exchange, but it can't be good for white because of this simple plan: 4-10 and 10-15, and the winning position for black. To attack a piece and to have all the pieces just in the early lines, and that would be just easy one to play, even for Łukasz, I guess. Perhaps I can't say even for Łukasz, because to be honest, he is well performing during this Frisian Open tournament. I guess some moves were played, and perhaps we don't have the updates yet. So I think in 15 or 20 minutes this game will end and we will know everything. Feel free to subscribe checkersTV YouTube channel, because even if you are a fan of Frisian drafts, I decided to put some Frisian content on my channel, because even I did it today. I've published the combination that could have been played in this tournament in 7th round, and I think it's the really good way to use this version of drafts to make people convinced that drafts and checkers are in that case really complicated and challenging game. And you know, the problem for many drafts promoters is to convince people that actually drafts and checkers are difficult. And Frisian drafts, to show that way the combinations, tactical options of this game, is one of the ways of promotion, of great promotion of this sport, and definitely it's worth using it. And now, once I know a bit more about this variant, I will just try to use it to promote drafts all over the world on my channel with my English language content. Co z tymi amerykańskimi warcabami? Zapowiadałeś, że będą mocno promowane, a już po 2 partiach sparingowych czekam na mistrzostwa. Ja już po 2 partiach, ale mówisz o checkersach, czy o jakich? One of my viewers on YouTube is asking what about American checkers that I mentioned 1 or 2 years ago that there will be Polish championship played in, as it was a possibility to gain some attention around the world, but this project is temporarily stopped. Więc fan klapeczek w związku z różnymi perturbacjami, które się działy w firmie CC Games, no chwilowo ten projekt był stopowany, ale być może jeszcze wróci. Teraz musisz się tego zacząć uczyć, tych fryzyjskich. So now, once we are waiting for the Polish Championship in American checkers, perhaps it will be possible to play Polish Championship in Frisian drafts, and already I know from Łukasz that players of Frisian drafts would like to promote this variant of game worldwide. And what is interesting, even automatically the winner of national championship in Frisian drafts, if such championships are being played, gets the qualification to Fryslân Open 2020, well, not this edition, but each edition. So perhaps it's the thing convincing us that it should be developed in one's country. So that was what Łukasz has played. The position is indicated as 0.2 advantage for white pieces, and we are waiting for decision of Fede Kramer. Perhaps some decision has been made, but what's really important, 90 minutes are passed already, and players probably are using the added time. Okay, some moves were played, and we did have 43-39, and Łukasz played 8-12. Meanwhile, after 9-14, Scan says there would be even a small advantage of black pieces, but it's unseeable, I guess. Łukasz played 8-12, and it's still 0.2 for Fede Kramer, so that was the move number 32. And after a time of bringing faster game, we have a small delay on the transmission. Our players just slowed down a bit because they know how important this position is. And Fede Kramer plays 36-31, so this is the move I did not expect before 42-47. Now this move stops this move, for example, 16-21, and 9-14 was played by Łukasz. That was a good choice to play, and 49-43, and now Łukasz has 0.4 advantage and quickly plays 14-20, so you can see that they are getting faster and faster right now. To wykracza poza moje kompetencje, jestem tylko skromnym fanem zawodniczki z Błonia, a tu trzeba za dużo wiedzieć i ogarniać. No, sam nie ogarniam tej gry. Nie ogarniam tych po prostu kombinacji, ale to jest na swój sposób takie, wiesz, wymagające. So some of the viewers say that it is not so easy to follow that game, and you can try to play and enjoy playing drafts in other variations much earlier, much faster, because you just need to know some simple rules. Like, for example, you know what is the big advantage of drafts and checkers around the world? The fact that you can explain rules of this game in 1 minute, in just 1 minute. For example, in Poland I've made such video, rules of checkers, rules of drafts in 1 minute. And before that I've made some videos with rules of the game that lasted, for example, 10 or 15 minutes and one even half an hour, when I explained in international drafts just all the rules, like even the fact that you can't capture the same piece twice with the king, etc, etc. And finally you know which video viewers watch. Of course, the one in 1 minute. So at this moment I'm about 3 years from publication, and I have there like nearly 100,000 views for Poland, and this video is played 200 times every day. So a lot of people try to find information about rules of the game, so it means that they play that game. And if you try to follow the English language videos about rules of the game of checkers, or how to win at checkers in few moves, such videos have even over 1 million views. So that was the reason why I chose to run the English language stream, because at this moment I think I don't have any other concurrent channels, and that would be just good thing to try to use and to promote, of course, drafts, because there is a mission always behind. That's the reason why I want to bring international content, English language content, and international Draughts TV, because that would get profits to all the community of drafts and checkers players. Some other moves were played after this one, 14-20, and this 46-41. And ladies and gentlemen, that was a strange moment, because I just wanted to say you that there is quite a nice advantage of Łukasz Kosobuski after playing 12-17, which was indicated to 1.7 pieces at the moment. Now Scan says this exchange is good, but in this position there is slightly better one for Łukasz, not for Fede Kramer. So who will be winner of this Masters tournament? Who will that be? Kalnap commented one more time. Let me suggest you to train for Frisian by playing against very weak engine, which is available in this program, H-Wigman Home. So the link is published on Twitch if you like to follow it. That could be an option. But you know, playing against engine is something like really slowly working one, because it's not enjoyable for someone who plays entire life against players, live players, to play against computer, you know. At some moment when I was young and I was trying to perform better, I was trying to play against simple playing programs, but it never worked. I thought that way I will have a good sparring partner and I will play better and better, but finally I was just bored after a few games, and engines just play similar scenarios, and sometimes you get to one point of winning, one way of winning, and you know, algorithm you play against is just losing every time on the same way. So nothing will change and will replace playing against human. So the best way to practice and to promote this variation of the game would be to play against real players, to bring more of them to your competitions, to make many amateurs playing this one. And definitely I want to organize such tournament, because you know, I will use, for example, my social medias in Poland, and I will organize and make a special tournament in Frisian Draughts, only Draughts, and then I think I can bring at least few dozens of players there to play, with announcing that earlier. Maybe to perform some prizes, rewards, who knows? Everything is possible. And everything is about resources after all. If you have money, if you have time, if you have channels, if you have community, then you can promote everything. It takes time sometimes, but once the bigger resources you have, then the faster you can promote something. 36 moves of the game were played so far. We are close to the end. The question is, what would happen if that game would end in a draw? I know it's less likely than having a result of winning for some of players, because in that game the resultative games are the majority and not the drawed games. But still, would there be another barrage game? Probably yes, probably with shorter time. I don't know when, I don't know how, and probably I would not have the possibility of streaming it as well. But we are waiting for the solution of this game. Who will be the winner? Who will be the winner of Masters Tournament in Franeker, in Fryslân, in Netherlands? Geography lesson is always a good one. So here, when you are at frisiandraughts.com, here we have the gaming. What do we have here? Education. What is there? Oh, there are several steps to learning the game of Frisian Draughts. Here are some of them. Use one of the apps, Frisk of Frisian Draughts, to play against computer first. After a few games you will automatically get an understanding on how the rules work. That's right, because sometimes, you know, just soft, dry explaining of the rules is not the way of knowing the rules, because you can't remember it all. And once you will play a few games against computer and feel on your own skin how it works, then you learn quite fast. This way of learning works quickly, that's right. You can also create an account on these apps and challenge other players. Use the app Draughts. On this platform you can play Frisk as well as the classic Frisian Draughts game. There are several tournaments every day. And about Frisk, yeah, it is also a good way to practice Frisian Draughts, because Frisk is just playing Frisian Draughts having only one row of pieces, 5 against 5. And I think that practicing Frisk can be a really good one for playing endgames in Frisian Draughts, yeah? Because many times the endgames start in the moment when players have the pieces in the baselines and they are just trying to develop somehow and try to make a breakthrough or just limit opponent out of the possibilities. So that's the option as well. Tip: create an account with the name, first name, last name. With this you can become a member of WFD team on Lead Draughts. For official competitions this is a must. Okay, I don't have such account. On Lead Draughts you can play against the engine scan, but also use it to analyze your own games and end games. That's right, that's always a good thing to use. Improve your game by analyzing others' games with scan to find better moves. That's what we do on those streams. Use the PDN game download of game on Turnabase and import them into Lead Draughts. That's always a good way of analyzing. Of course, there are other tools that I will not recommend here and advertise it, but this works perfectly, of course. To use PDN games downloaded from Turnabase and import it into Lead Draughts. Analyze game moments when scan indicates sudden advantage of this or disadvantage. That's how we do it as well. Find out which tactical or strategic moves are the best. Practice the puzzles on Lead Draughts and the drafts problems of, for example, Rule Bergsma. Your tactical insight will improve. It takes time. We spent to this moment over 8 hours on practicing, and it takes time, but slowly we are getting better and better. Okay, some moves were played. So this exchange was made by Łukasz 41-36, this move 25-30. It was not suggested by computer, but it's playable, I guess. So I was indicating that this game should be end in 5 minutes. Perhaps they did have small delay, and perhaps a few more moves will be played, but okay, they are playing faster and faster. The position is completely a draw for the computer. Will it be that way? We'll see. Oh, here in education you have literature, Lead Draughts training, Lead Draughts courses, manuals, apps, links to the apps, Turnabase link, school projects, Friske Sport in den Klasse. Is a project by Sport Fryslân to teach primary school children a typical Frisian sport. Frisian Draughts is one of the typical Frisian sports. Nice. Nice that school children can play this type of drafts in schools. This is something I do with many schools because I have governmental project for it, but I use of course 64 square drafts to implement it quickly to many schools to have a low level of the beginning of the game. Puzzles on Lead Draughts. So this is in Frisian puzzles, okay. So I will try to solve it as we are waiting for Łukasz move. 40 moves has been played. If I play here, he takes this one, he takes, then he can play that way. What else I can play? After this one he takes here. How to solve it? After this and giving him a king, I would have a priority to take here, but he would take there. Oh no, he must take 3 then, after having the king. And if I played here, he will take 3 pieces. That is probably not a good idea to play. Best move. Of course it is. But what then? Still this one nuts. Still best move. So this one is not working because of 1, 2, 3. This one would cost 1, 2. It's not helping me. This one will come with this. This one not because of that. This is a win? How? So 2 intuitive moves because other were not the options. I just wanted to bring it closer. Just move after move. Once again, this one, free. It's not an option. This one as well. This one will allow you to take 2. This third one will be on capture, but only one move will be to play. If I go here, he takes. Here, he takes 3. Oh, there is this direction. Oh, sorry, that one. Oh, and capturing all. Nice. Nice, nice. Okay, this looks simple. So I lost 30, I gained 72. Here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, he takes and I take 2. I'm so good in finding combinations in Frisian checkers. Here, not this one, here, not this one, oh here the best one. 1, 2, he takes, here, 1, 2, 3. Okay, okay, starting to get there. Okay, some new things in the game between Łukasz and Fede. Oh, that was a mistake, but the mistake that was quickly corrected by Scan. So you know the draw is starting to be more and more possible here. Kalnap on Twitch. Turkish strikes in Frisian are more common than in international. Of course that is that way. And what is really interesting, during my entire career, I've made Turkish shot only once in international drafts. It was during the training of Polish youth team provided by Grandmaster from Lithuania, Edward Burzyński. And then I made this combination against a friendly game with Przemysław Powała, and it was put in the literature already. This is how the Turkish shot is working. If you are finally doing it in international drafts, then it goes to the books immediately. So which capture will be made by Mr. Fede Kramer? I think this game ends soon. The question is about the result. Let me try to find a solution of another puzzle. So my opponent attacked here. So I can play this move, he takes. I can play this move, he takes. I take 2 and he has no moves to play because each of them is losing pieces. Here. So I can make this one. It can be just a regular combination like in international drafts. So this one was easy for me. Ooh, okay, so there is a majority here, because there is a majority of king capture. So I just take this for this. Okay, there is a free tempo, but also I can sacrifice 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. Okay, it's better not to play that. But he will get 1, 2, 3, 4 that way, which is also not a good option here. So what can I play? Covering this gap, maybe? If I would cover it, and by intuition, that was the best move to play, and now some of those moves probably can be played. Yeah, this one. And wherever he takes, I collect just all of his pieces. Here. So if I go here, then he must take 2 pieces, right? There is a majority, that's right. I take 3, which way? Oh, there's an attack here, so I take here to the king. He takes, and he is forced to take here, so I place my king to take this one. Where should I place my king to capture? To capture somehow here? If I go here, he takes and I take, and it's not a winner. Which move to play? Oh, here! No? Oh, because, okay, he will take there and there. Here, that way, okay, and now it works. So, this one would cost 1, 2, 3, or 3 that way, it's not the option. We have some blender, scan says. Come on, from 0 to 0.4, blender, it was not a blender. Okay, gentlemen, we are getting it faster and faster. Okay, let's get back to puzzles. So this after this is not an option. And this costs 1, 2, 3. And what then? Oh, there is this attack already, so I can use it somehow. Oh, but there is an attack of 2 pieces. After this one, there is no capture. So he is attacking 2 pieces that direction and 2 pieces that direction. Would I like some of those directions applied? I am awake now for 16.5 hours, and it's been a tough day, so thinking of it is challenging for me. Łukasz did win the game. How? Ladies and gentlemen, we can see 2 points on the side of Łukasz Kosobucki already. So Łukasz Kosobucki is the winner of Masters competition Fryslân Open 2023. Really, really nice. So Fede Kramer, after defeating Łukasz 2 times, perhaps was a bit too convinced about winning third one, but Łukasz stopped him. But the question is, how did it happen? Was there a mistake? Perhaps they will update the position, but Łukasz Kosobucki is winning the barrages against Fede Kramer. Congrats Łukasz, really nice one. So Łukasz definitely is an underdog of the tournament. He is the underdog that used chances and got the winning position of this Masters tournament. But how did it happen? Perhaps those last moves were played quickly, and there some mistake has to be made by Fede Kramer, and somehow Łukasz had to use it. So I was right about the fact that Łukasz is really good in those calculational endgames, and he took his chances somehow. He found the way to defeat many players in those endgames, and if Łukasz was not losing the game in the opening, like the previous game against Freddy Kramer, then it was possible for him to follow it till the end and to finally win the games. So the strategy of Łukasz was well, and it gave him the best possible result probably. Really nice, really nice. So if Łukasz practices, perhaps it will be possible in future to perform in a nice way in World Championship Frisian Draughts 2024, because now he has the qualification. So in August 2024 it will be a nice chance for him. I'll wait a while, perhaps the game will be broadcasted, put on the lead drafts, but at this moment we have 43 moves. Or perhaps the option was that Fede Kramer just lost on time, because if other moves are not put onto lead drafts, then it can mean that Fede Kramer lost on time, and then we would never have the possibility of follow the game that has not been played from this moment. So, ladies and gentlemen, that gave us the chance. That gave us a chance to follow this Fryslân 2024 to the very end, and here the very end is. Finally we got to a point. We have the winners of the Grandmasters tournament, we have the winners of the Masters tournament, and Fryslân 2024 ends here. The question is how tomorrow it will be during the World Championship Frisk 2024, and still this federation, this community awaits the biggest event of the year, which is of course the World Frisian Draughts Championship. We know more players to be playing there. I hope there will be a big interest in following this Frisian Draughts variant type till that moment, and that will gather a big audience, a big community of lovers of this beautiful tactical way of playing drafts. Probably the most tactical, the most difficult way in the combinational, in the tactical way, a variant of drafts. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a pleasure for me to host you those streams, to bring the game closer to me and you. Don't forget to follow FrisianDraughts.com, where you can find all the interesting combinations like puzzles and informations, other informations. Like me, you can try to solve some Frisian Draughts puzzles and try to progress in this variant of drafts. And of course, don't forget to follow their channels on YouTube, on Twitch. Links are in the description of the YouTube channel. And I can wish you a good night. I can wish you a good day of the Sunday tomorrow, and if it will be possible to follow the World Championship Frisk, just do it. My name, ladies and gentlemen, is Damian Reszka. I've had the privilege of hosting those streams about Fryslân Open 2024. Have a good night and see you. See you soon. Oh, and I've just had a comment of Łukasz Kosobucki while I was closing this stream. Łukasz confirmed, he won on time. So I was just expecting the next moves to be put onto lead drafts, but Łukasz confirmed that he won on time. Łukasz, big congrats, because you stopped the series of your opponent after 2 victories against you. Finally, you played a nice game without making any blunders, any mistakes, and I think you were underdog of this tournament. I'm really proud of as the Polish person, Polish fan, and you were the underdog of the tournament. Great. It was made well by you, and on the poll we've had 60% for Łukasz Kosobucki and 40% for Fede Kramer. So once again, congrats Łukasz, and bye bye to everyone. See you soon on the streams on checkersTV on YouTube and Checkers Online TV on the Twitch. Bye bye.
Can you hear the sound? Can't stop us now. We're not back in town, know what we're doing. Things are about to change. So